Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. You may be surprised to see only two decks today, so we're going to hope that this is not a whole hour long video, right? Or even like an hour and a half long. But I'm going to. I really need to moisturize my hair again. I don't think I'll do that today. I'm going to pull up this spread. So today I'm just going to do the Acropolis spread because it kind of sort of popped on my mind to try to pull for it a few days ago because it's one that I haven't. So I've built a lot of spreads actually, and I haven't really necessarily used a lot of them fully. Whoo! I was about to say, okay, so where's my spread? No, this actually won't be the Acropolis spread because the Acropolis spread is not finished. Like I have this set up. I could probably do it now, honestly. But at the time I couldn't. I couldn't. It might sound weird because I'm just building these, but at the time I couldn't like get what it was supposed to be. And so I made a alternate version of this energy, and it's the pulpit spread. So I'm going to be doing the pulpit because the pulpit is fully realized. And yeah. So let me get into it. I could have did this before I started the before I started recording, but take a moment to meditate and center and ground yourself. Think of some things that you are appreciative of. Really sit with the energy of love in your heart and let it expand and just keep on expanding until it envelops you, until it envelops your house, until it envelops the world, until it envelops the universe at large. And just take some deep breaths and do that as I read this. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was like, what? Oh, I love how I did this. And the way I do these is very intentional with the way I lay out the cards. And the number of cards in the spread. And sometimes it works out really nicely, the meaning that I associate with the number too. I should have flipped these. You know what? Do I want to flip them? Oh, that's why I did it that way. Okay. Oh man, I wish I had my tablet because this is something that it makes more sense numerologically and um, otherwise to flip these. So I'll do that later. Okay. Oof, oof. But I'm trying to see really quick. Okay, all right. Yeah, because now I'm looking at how I built this, and it's like the bottom makes sense, but the top I just need to flip two of the cards around. So I think I am actually gonna do it that way, but it's not necessarily gonna make a difference to you. So let's go. I'm gonna start with these because that'll give me a little bit of a direction, and I'm only gonna pull. I'm gonna do. Do I want to do top and bottom? No, I think I'm only going to pull one, and then I'll look at the card on the bottom of the deck. Or if one wants to come out or whatever. I'm trying to do it so I get reversals. Ooh, okay, my heart space is feeling weird. Not weird bad, but just like, I pulled two from the bottom. Whoa, what? So I got three of four cards. How did this happen? I thought I tried to get three. I had to pull two from the. I didn't have to, but I pulled two from the bottom because they were both majors, and I was like, "What? Everything's in reverse. Everything is in reverse. That's interesting." But that kind of sort of fits with what this spread is about. Kind of, sorta. So I'm actually going to put these in the quadrants. So up here is the Five of Orbs Vagabond in reverse. The Vagabond in reverse. Did I read that one? Maybe not, but that's like physical needs being met by spiritual means. And then it's the Golden Shield in reverse. So we have a new queen. We've seen the Ebony Shield and the Ivory Shield. We saw the Ebony Shield twice. Queen of Wands in reverse. Power and authority of fire. And then up here we have the Reaper in reverse. And then down here we have the New World Order in reverse. And that's the world. This is interesting. So I think this is like the personal side, and then this is like the global side. So there's the lowering of a guard and the dropping of defenses. And then there's this like being outside of the church here. Because with the Five of Pentacles, a lot of times they're depicted, it's like one or two, a homeless person or two outside of the church, and they're out in the cold and they don't have much, right? And then we have this Queen of Wands down here that you can't even see. You can't even see her, but that's fine. And I think that speaks to lowering the guard. So I think there's something that we're like relearning. It's either we're relearning it or it's time for us to do it. Because I feel like with the shield upright, it's reserved, it's protective. But with the shield in reverse, it's like you have to put the shield down so you can raise the sword, right? I mean, you don't have to, because you can hold your shield in front of you and your sword out to the side. Like this. But it's like there's this, is it like the phalanx? Or it's like you have everyone puts their shields up and they create like that dome. And then like when the shields come down, that's when the spears come out. Did I say something about spears yesterday? I did. I was like, call me Bill Shakespeare. And now we have this in reverse. And then I feel like on a more global scale, we have this Death in reverse and this New World Order in reverse. That's interesting. Okay. Let me get into this. How am I feeling today? I'm feeling pretty good today. I feel like I'm in like this January 2 energy. I wonder if every like cardinal sign is gonna feel like that this year. But it's like I feel like I'm getting a little bit of clarity on where I was and what was happening. And then I'm like, oh. Because like the day before yesterday, some of the stuff that happened in the past month. Oh, cut into the Emperor and the Eight of Cups. almost kind of sort of felt unreal. Like, did all of that really happen? This Mercury retrograde has definitely been largely impactful. I'm not going to take all of these, but the Knight of Cups is leading the charge. And then what's this? The Emperor. I'll try to shuffle like this now, so that when I cut, it's not like the same card. Queen of Swords and Justice. Ooh, justice for the Queen. Justice for the Queen. I will have your heads. Ooh, okay, well that goes in there. Now we're cutting to the Emperor again, but this time with the Page of Wands. Okay, but yeah, I feel like yesterday, a lot of the stuff like calmed down. And I don't know if it's because like Mercury is almost direct or what, but I feel like clarity and perspective began coming in. And I was like, where did everything like start to do whatever? And I was like, oh, like here and there and there. And it's just interesting how like I feel like I'm returning to self in a way. And maybe that's why I'm like feeling good. Ooh, 10 of pennies at the bottom of the deck. Okay. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling there's a return to self. I feel like things are starting to settle. By settle, I mean return to where they were. I feel like there's some clarity coming in. And there's some stuff I want to do. And I'm going to have to like go within to really learn how to do it. If that makes sense. Because it's like, I don't know, like it came to me and I don't understand it. It's like I do, but I don't. It's like I'm trying to remember something that I haven't seen or heard or read in a really long time. And so it's like somebody said something, right? And then it kind of triggers your memory, but you're like, wait, where did I hear that? What memory is trying to come to the surface right now? It's a lot of that. So, I mean, I have 2 days left, and I'm doing the pulpit spread right now, right? So, let's go. All right. I'm actually going to do this to keep this from turning off. Okay. Oop. The Hierophant. I love this. This spread is based off of the energy of the Hierophant. What's behind the Hierophant? The Queen of Wands. And she's sitting right here. The Eight of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the King of Swords. And we saw the Queen of Swords like twice. That's interesting. Okay, Hierophant. The Hierophant gives his blessing. Alright, I'm going to give it 5 shuffles because 5. 2 of Cups and the Queen of Swords. There's the Queen of Swords. You just missed your king, Queen. What are you doing? I'm having a soiree. King of Pentacles and Temperance. That was 1. This would be 2. Five of Swords and the 7 of Cups. This would be 3. I need to get back into building spreads. The Hermit and the Page of Wands. This would be 4. And then the 10 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. And this will be 5. Okay. Alright. Should I just go for it? Yeah. Why not? Okay. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to have room for all this. I'm not going to have room for all this. But we're going to use our imagination. / we're going to crunch this up a little bit. Where's my phone? Here it is. I need to make sure I get the placement down right. Okay. Ooh, alright. my, my head already hurts. Goodness, this is going to be deep. Okay. So I did not show the cards as they came down. Left at the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups, though. So I'll put the bottom here, and then left at the top is the Two of Pentacles. These two cards are extra, but I guess they just help anger and whatever. I don't know. Those will be for context if I need context. Oh, this actually makes complete sense between this. And it makes sense over here as well. So those are just like the outside whatever. Can y'all see all the cards? Yep, but y'all don't know what they mean. So I'm going to read these in the order that I put them down. So I have the Three of Cups, Strength, the Queen of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Knight of Swords. This was 6. Yep, okay. So then it's the Ten of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Star, the Nine of Cups in position 9. I love that. The Page of Swords, the Moon, the Seven of Wands, the Shadow Side, and the Three of Wands. 13 and 14. Okay, so this is also interesting that the Ten of Cups is here. And it's also interesting that this is coming out. Whoa, okay, Knight. You ain't gotta like go charging off. Somebody is like about to. You see like how it's kind of sort of pointed in that direction, like at the Ten of Cups, and how it just like slid over there. Somebody about to maybe come in. Oh, goodness. So this is about community. I'll say. This is more about community. And building a community. And strengthening a community. Because, like, that's what all of this is sort of about. This Three of Cups. Community and unity, and the type of community that this is about is it's about a spiritual community, spiritual family, people who you like vibe with in a very resonant way, in a very positive way that like uplifts everyone's vibration, right? And the most important thing crossing this is strength. To be strong of heart and strong of mind, strong of heart and mind in the way that like whenever things happen, it doesn't take you out of your peace. And so this is all about sort of like learning. And I love that this I love that this came out right here. So it looks like overall like the feminine side of this is about that relationship. And the masculine side of this is all about doing something. And that's why the strength is here, and that's why the community is so important. Because community is the energy of like, it's familial, it's loving, it's nurturing, it's caring, and it's kind. But community is also the energy of like, when one person is down, other people go and help. Like there's an element of kindness and an element of service at the same time. And that's what this is all about. That's why we have the Ten of Cups over here and the Two of Pentacles over here. Where on a personal level, I feel like this is about us strengthening our own internal, strengthening and stoking and feeding our own internal fire. It's like, you know how, and with the furnace, they have the accordion fan thingy where you push it down and it, right, to get air into the fire and it stokes the flame. Like that's what this is about on a soul level, on a SOLE level, and an SOUL level, I guess. And then on a grander scale, it's all about, it's like stacking the scales on the side of good to bring things closer into balance. And then should like eventually tip the scales, right? I don't know why good is on the right and bad is on the left, but it's like it was like this, and we're doing this so we can eventually do that. A little bit. At least a little bit. Come on. Like, we've been like this forever. Like, we can do a little bit of this for a minute and then go there, right? So, community. That's what this is about. Community in service and in heart. Ooh, I love that. And so, I feel like, yeah, like what this is teaching us is it's how to be good stewards of each other and good stewards of the planet. Um, because we have this unique opportunity globally and worldwide, right? Where we're already going through these, like, at least here, we're already going through these recessions, and we're already looking at policies of healthcare, especially here in America, where, some folks say, I ain't trying to get political, so I'll just say some folks say the healthcare system is effed up. And now we have this, like, pandemic. And now it's like some of the things that we weren't addressing, we now have to address. And it's interesting because it's like, I feel like there were, from a certain perspective, there are certain people who are seen to have a lot of privilege when it comes to health and sickness, right? But now in this pandemic state, it's like we're all sort of relying on each other to be healthy. And I think that's something that some people don't necessarily understand whenever they're like, oh, I'm not afraid, so I'm still going to go out, and I'm not afraid, so I'm going to keep living my life, and blah, 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 whatever. And I'm not afraid either. But I think there's also this element of like social responsibility. And so that's why I say like we're relying on each other to be healthy. Because it's like, okay, you're not afraid, and somebody else isn't afraid. And let's say like one of y'all get sick, but you don't get sick. And then you're hanging out with all of your not sick buddies, right? And then you're hanging out with all of your not sick buddies, and so then your buddies get sick but not sick, and they come in contact with someone else who gets sick and not sick, but then that person comes in contact with someone who will get sick and be sick, and then it's like, well, like, how did this happen? Like, where did you go? What did you do? And it's like, okay, well, 3 to 4 people before this interaction happened, somebody decided to go out and to keep living their lives as if nothing has changed. Right, and so that's like the element of social responsibility that I'm coming upon. And I know that there's a lot of deeper talk about what's actually happening. But I guess in my head, in my mind, it's like I never take the position of judge, jury, or executioner, except for within my own life, right? But on a grander scale, I never play that. And so personally, I feel like me continuing to act like nothing is happening. And then, I mean, on one hand, it's like, if somebody's going to get it, they're going to get it. But in my opinion, like, they can get it from somebody else. They ain't got to get it from me. And so I think there's just this element of expanded care. We're expanding what we care about. There's an opportunity for it. Whether some people are doing it or not, there's an opportunity for it. And we're learning how to be good stewards of our planet and of each other in this time. Mostly of each other, but eventually of our planet, right? Maybe we'll go greener. Um, we'll not just throw our trash anywhere and everywhere when there's literally like a trash can right next to like where the trash is on the ground and it's not even full. or like, on the side of a road or whatever. There's just this overall energy, opportunity to be better. And when we all decide to be better and do better, the world becomes a better place. Ooh, this will be easy. So, yeah, on the feminine side, this is all about community. Well, it's on the feminine side, this is about the. I'm trying to think of an S word. On the masculine side, it's about service. On the feminine side, it's about caring, I guess. Caring and service, that's community. So then we move down to, oof, the purpose. See, now it's almost like I did this, but now I feel like they should be flipped. That's wait. Hold on, hold up. Okay, I am gonna switch these two back because this makes more sense. I just need to change the number, but I laid them down in the order I wanted to lay them down in. Yes, this makes a lot more sense. Okay, all right. Yeah, because then we have the sword with the sword. Okay, yeah. 'Cause I don't know why. So when I made this, I made it right. I just misnumbered. I switched like 4 and 5, but the position is where I want it. Okay, because I was like, what is happening? But this is very interesting. There's this soul and global element, this internal and external impact. And like the reason why all of this is happening is to build a strong community based on service and compassion. Compassion and service. Okay, there we go. But oh, I don't like this. This is why this Two of Pentacles is here. Because we have to choose. And the only thing we can really do is like hope that enough people will be on the same page to really change the way things are being done right now. But the better we do within ourselves, the brighter we shine, the more space is eliminated. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. I don't like leaving it up to hope. Excuse me. But choice has been a big thing for at least for a month now. I feel like before that it was all about like getting this information, getting some clarity, and like now we're in this choice period. Like this is the actual judgment. I want to look in both decks and see what card is sitting behind judgment. So I'm looking for karma in this deck. Okay. So in this deck, it is the Page of Pentacles. And I'm going to set this right here. Because that's the more soul level. Actually, yeah. I already put it there. And then these are more like collective / spiritual. And I want to see what card is behind Judgment. I was like, what does Judgment even look like? Oh my gosh. It's literally right there. Both of these cards were like at the top of the deck. Well, I guess they were technically near the bottom. It was in reverse, but I flipped it up right. So over here we had the Page of Pentacles sitting behind Karma. Over here we have the Archangel Commander, King of Swords, sitting behind this. Okay. Knight of Swords, King of Swords, Page of Swords. And then the Queen of Pentacles is up there. Because I was like, wait, do we have anybody else? Or is it just sword people? Alright. So let me get into this. I feel like this is unnecessarily longer than it has to be. Like, why am I taking so long to get through this? How long is this? Oh, it's already half an hour. Okay, let me speed this up because this doesn't need to be a whole hour long. I just don't. I'm just not necessarily a huge fan of this energy. Because I wish it were a little more solid and concrete. But the more hope I have, the more hope there is in the collective, the better our chances of doing this right and like doing it really well. So on the feminine side, it's all about building and creating compassion. On the masculine side, it's all about service. There are already people who are like donating to people who, you know, were already in need before like supplies were limited and before people were out of work and before other stuff like that. Like there are already things being set in place. People are already serving each other. And like again, like this is all about building with these two, the Three of Cups and Strength, building these strong communities that are heart led and based. And so the reason why this is happening sits in this like Ten of Wands energy. And I feel like that's just saying like the way that we were going, we can't continue to go that way anymore. Especially with all of the things that are already happening. It's like it's about time. It's all a matter of time. Divine timing and the time for us to be better and do better or get wiped out. Be better, do better, or get wiped out. That time is now. Because we've been here for a while and we've progressed to a fairly great degree when it comes to technology and stuff like that. We are now more globally interconnected than we've ever been. And it's almost the energy of like, now that you have the ability to know, there's no excuse. So, you know, like in the past, if someone had a certain ism because they never really like got to know somebody or whatever, it's like there wasn't an excuse in my opinion, but there was an excuse, right? Like, but now especially with like media being what it is, it's like it's so easy to get another perspective. It's so easy to get and see and listen to someone's story that it's like there's no excuse anymore. And it's that I forget what I just said, but it's like get right or get wiped out. And so I feel like the purpose is like us sort of like cleaning through a lot of this old, outdated stuff that doesn't serve us on a more grand and global scale anymore. And hold up, hold up. Oh, okay, all right. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, too big. All right, okay, all right. So, the way that we get there is by, you know how they say, be the change that you wish to see in the world? That's like actually, like, literally it. It's like when we take care of and heal this stuff within ourselves, we also heal it in the collective. Because it's the energy of like when everyone is doing it, then like everything has changed, right? So let's say that you're sick and you get some kind of bacterial infection that spreads throughout your whole body. And you're sick for a while. And then your immune system finally like learns to differentiate like the good stuff from the bad stuff, like the bad stuff from you. And so after a certain amount of time, then you have these antibodies that can go and, you know, take care of the bacteria. But it would take like so
long. It would be nearly impossible for like one white blood cell or two white blood cells or three white blood cells to go throughout your whole body to clean them out. And so it's like you're releasing this armada. You're creating a lot. And then they're going in, they're going out, and they are cleaning it up. And like that's the same energy. Like that's this community, that's the collective that we're shifting into. Because it's going to take more than one or two or three or 50 or 100 or 1,000 people to shift the whole planet. But that's how we get there. It's like one coin at a time, one penny at a time. But it is the biggest penny. So it's like, don't disregard the impact that you have on an individual level. Because impacts are multiplicative. Because you can impact one person who impacts two people who then go and impact four people. And one of those four people, like, one of those people is attached to like 100 people. So then you go from 1 to 4 to like 150. And then it's multiplicative. It goes from there. And yeah, I think what we're learning to come into is like this. Okay, I like this a little better because I was mistaking this position for this one. And so I was like, if like hope and prayers is the only thing we can do to fix this, we might be in trouble. Not that hope and prayers don't, not that they don't work, but I feel like it's a little less actionable. But this is still like hope and prayer energy because it's like you hoping that you being your best self and doing good will inspire someone else to do better. But this is like you still making a difference. I feel like a lot of times when people say like you hope or you pray for something, they don't do anything. They don't put any weight behind it. And the Bible says that faith without works is dead. So you can believe all you want, but if you don't do anything to get there, especially when you're led in a direction to get there and you don't follow it, then it's like, okay, we gave you the address. We gave you the address. We gave you a self-driving car with GPS, but you have to get in the car and press go. Like, so you're just believing that you're going to get there, and all you literally have to do is walk outside the door, open the car door. You walk outside your door. First, you open your door. Then you walk outside. Make sure you have your keys. You lock the door. You leave. You walk up to the car that just pulled up. You open the car door. You sit down. You buckle up. You close the car door. Or you open the car door. You sit down. You close the car door. Then you buckle up. You can buckle up and then close the door, or you can close the door and then buckle up. Drive safe. And then you just hit the little like go button, and it will automatically just take you where you need to be. So it's like you gotta you gotta do something. You're not just gonna instantly like appear there. Um, but yeah, I feel like the the new foundation that is being established here, and then with the swords, with the page of swords here, and the archangel commander up here. Well, I don't even have to justify it with the swords. Well, the Knight of Swords is right there. And Service, Knight of Swords. I feel like that's like representing law. And I remember the Queen of Swords came out with the Justice card at one point. And then we have the King, the Knight, and the Page. Only thing that isn't here is the Queen, but that's because we're waiting on this Justice to come in. She's still chilling with Justice. Let me see if they're still side by side. Let me just see real quick. They might not be, but I'm going to see if they is. Oh, they're not. The Queen of Swords. Oh, wait. No. The Queen of Swords is chilling looking at the King of Wands. Hold on, wait. No. Did I just move that? Ugh. Where's Justice? She ain't even chilling with Justice no more. Justice, where you go? Where's the justice? Here's justice. Oh, okay. So justice is actually sitting in between the Six of Swords and the. Can y'all see that? No. There you go. So justice is sitting in between the Six of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. So I love that. Okay, Hierophant, just fall out my hand. Hierophant said, "This is my spread." Oh, and I love where it fell. But I don't. Well, it fell like here in between all of these, but I'm gonna put it here because I love that because that's exactly what that's all about. And then the Queen of Swords again. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is in between the Two of Wands and the Ace of Cups. It was either the Ace of Cups or the King of Wands, but the Ace of Cups was behind the King of Wands. So we are moving forward. Both the Queen of Swords and the Justice card were sitting next to something that moves. Justice was in between two moving things. The Six of Swords and the World, or the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, yeah, but this is all about creating structures and laws, creating, changing, modifying them to be more suitable and accommodating for everybody. And that's how we root it into the foundation here, because I feel like a lot of this stuff up here is like more spiritual, right? But the Hierophant like anchors it in, makes it 3D, creates establishments and structure out of it. And this is like the structure. This is the upstairs. This is the above. This is the below. So we're trying to make the below a little bit more like the heavenly above, instead of making the earth above like the hell below. That's why we're rising. We're rising. So the new above will be heaven, and the new below will be earth. The old above was earth, and the old below was not heaven, we'll just say. But we're rising out of that, yes. And I love that the Hierophant just like slick came out. Like he didn't slick come out right before I just started this. He was the first card and the last card. Okay, whatever. I'm a Taurus. I get it. Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna know exactly who I am. All right, let me move on. Why am I going so slow? So next is... Girl, wait. Okay. I was just all off. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Okay, so I don't like this again. I don't like this again. Because I thought that this card... So what I thought this meaning was, what I thought the star was saying, is what the Nine of Cups is saying. And so the message is the same, because they're literally both a wish granted. So we gotta want it. Enough people have to want it. And that makes sense though, because that's literally what I was saying here, right? And the thing about like hopes and prayers and then action service, it's because like, you know, we can be of service all we want, but if people aren't inspired to also be of service, then it's like, you know, that's when you get people who get used. Man. So yeah, we gotta want it. If we want this to happen, we have to want it. And to make sure that it happens, we have to act on it. We have to want it and act on it. So it's like we can't just sit back and be like, wow, I hope, you know, it's like people pray for world peace and people pray to end world hunger and people make all of these grand wishes, but then when it comes to what they actually do and what they're actually about, like not all of them are about that. And it's like, okay, well, if we're gonna make this happen, like how exactly do you think this is gonna happen if nobody does anything to make this a reality? Hmm. But now we have this opportunity. Like I said, like we're more interconnected now than we've ever been. And we have to want better and we have to do better. That's how we make sure we get better. So, on the action side, I love that because the Ace of Pentacles, what I got from that was to like, we have to go out and be this change that we want to see. And then the Page of Swords is saying like, to make sure that this happened, like to doubly reinforce it, we have to do something. And then on this side, it was like, let me make sure I got this right. The reason why this is happening is for us to get rid of these collective burdens into us and for us to like lighten up, right? And then the thing to make sure it's seen through is like we have to want it. So you can't free anybody who doesn't want to be free, because even if you free them, they could still mentally be bound and chained. So it's like you can cut the ropes, but mentally they're still bound. So this is interesting. So the restrictions, the things that we have to do, we have the shadow side and the moon. Okay, that's easy. So the last two positions, we have the restriction and then we have the punishment if we don't follow the restriction. So the restriction is the shadow side and the moon, right? And it's funny because I said we have to want it and we have to act accordingly. And so if you are with this moon, it's like if with both the shadow side and the shadow side being on the feminine side and the moon being on the masculine side, which is interesting because you'd think they'd be flipped. But I just think this being on this side speaks to intentions. No, this is what brings them together. It's like this is the point where the energies like cross. A cross, and this is the pulpit spread, so I should have did it like that, right? Instead of like an X, like a cross. Because when we're acting and when we're doing, we want to make sure we're pure of heart and we're pure of intent. That's what this moon is. It's like not having any like questionable intent, serving from the pureness of the heart on the action side. And then on the desire side, we have this, which is like to not have any questionable action or to not stand against someone, to not act against the very thing that we're wishing to bring forth. This is the white dot and the black, and this is the black dot and the white. So when you're acting, when you're doing, make sure you're pure of heart. And when you are wishing and when you are desiring, make sure your actions are also reflecting what you wish to do. Because in either case, if you don't align your actions and your words with your heart, then it's going to keep us where we are. And it's like we're wasting this opportunity. Get right or get wiped out. That's going to be the title. Get right or get wiped out. The whole planet. Right? Ain't no arcs this time. No arcs. So if we come across this flood, we all drowning. Let me stop. And so on the masculine side, it's like if we don't do this, then I feel like this is where we'll inherit karma. Because it's like sometimes I see this card as like, yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like focused up here, but looking for him. But I'm focused up here. And I was like, wait, where's the dude? But I'm just like mesmerized by the flowers. But yeah, sometimes when I see this card, it's like someone is trapped in a pit and this dude is like lowering a stick or a rope for you to grab onto for him to like pull you up out of it. And so like if we don't do this right, then we're going to have to repeat it. I think this is where there's a fine opportunity to generate a lot of bad karma right now. Especially if you act in a way that is extremely self-focused. And extremely self-focused to the point where you are bordering on gluttony when it comes to making sure you're taken care of, right? And it's funny. When did the Seven of Cups come out? Because I feel like I referenced the Seven Deadly Sins a minute ago. And at the time, I didn't even realize that it can also be applied to all of the people who are hoarding food, hoarding toilet paper, hoarding water, all the people who are overly stocking their own cupboards without any worry or care or concern for other people. Like when you slide and slip into gluttony, that's when you are then creating situations for you to learn your lesson, right? And so it could be the case that, let's say, like, you hoard stuff now, you go out, you spend all your money on food or whatever, right? Let's say that this thing blows over well before you go through all of your stuff, and but now all of your money is spent. And then you manifest these situations where all of your money is being taken, and then you're in a space where you need help, you need a resource, but you can't get it. Because in this time where we're all supposed to be looking out and caring for each other, you hoarded. Right? And then on this side, it's like if you do something that doesn't align with that, then it's like you'll forever be wanting. You will forever be desiring what you missed out on. And so I feel like this is, again, it's like where the energy sort of like cross. And if they crossed here, of course it's going to follow resulting, right? But I feel like this is you like having to do something. But this is you like wanting something. It's like Tantalus, excuse me, who is thirsty. He's like standing in a pool of water, dying of thirst, and every time he bends down to get some water to take a drink, the water moves out of the way. So it's like you're gonna have to pay for it with your actions, and then you're gonna be constant. It's like you're gonna have to pay for it with your actions, but then you're gonna see everyone else thriving around you, and so you're gonna desire that. You're going to see it, but you're not going to be able to like elevate out of the space that you're in if you chose to slip into something nasty right now. And I feel like if you watch this, you probably didn't, right? But that's just like the overall energy, because we have the Ace of Pentacles, and then we have the Page of Pentacles. It's like we have this Page of Pentacles and this King of Swords sitting after Justice. And so like this is coming into this new world that's a lot brighter and a lot happier, but it's going to require a change in action. And I feel like this is an amount of law. I feel like laws will be changed in a more humanely focused way. Community, compassion and service, service and action. Well, service is action. Compassion in action. Compassion in action. Maybe I'll say like compassion in action. Get right or get wiped out. All right, I'm actually going to shut this down here. So I think it's under an hour. Oh, 53 minutes. Nice. So thank you for joining me here today. I'm actually going to keep this one short. So enjoy the rest of your morning, day, evening, afternoon, night, whatever. Whenever you see this, enjoy it.